Tricia.
How's it going? I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. What have you been up to?
Busy.
Rolling from one day to the next.
Yep.
Let's see. I see you, Dan Lister.
Come here to the.
Yep. Yep, we've got all three, and Jeff Barnes is online. All right, that's it. Looks like a small crowd.
Jeff Barnes, but not the Jeff Barnes.
Huh?
Not the Jeff Barnes, who's an engineer with Citizen.
Oh, no.
No, yeah, it's a different one.
Jeff Barnes is on.
Yeah.
And then were you gonna
And he's a very nice guy.
I
so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Amy
Barnes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we have Jeff and Amy. Yes.
I thought they were. I've never known anyone with my name. I think it'd be really odd, you know?
Tricia Nilsson.
Yeah.
Apparently
I think there's one in the country.
Is there? I found out from a former planner from years ago that Monica Reeves is some poker player.
Oh, really?
I'm like, I don't even know how to play bingo, right?
Oh, thank you. So I'll have to dial and dial and dial.
There you go. And I told him that it was full.
Oh, thank you. It's funny how his engineer deals with it, I guess.
Something to her,
Okay.
Mike, what, is this something we need to?
I had
That's for
grilled
Zach at
peanut butter
Oh,
and
okay.
jelly sandwich from Sweet Spot Bakery right down the boulevard.
Oh, I love Sweet Spot. I wasn't know.
What kind of sandwich?
Grilled peanut butter and jelly on their homemade bread.
Grilled peanut
Oh
butter.
my gosh.
I had a Cobb salad.
Face in one of those. Oh my gosh. Their homemade bread. That's all I want for toast now. I buy one for my husband and one for Pam.
Wow.
Yes. I'll get you one too, Monica. You and I kind of have a thing about bread.
About bread?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like bread.
I had Mr. V's Cobb salad. It was too much.
That
It
is,
was
I
very
think it's
big.
half of that.
It's a big.
I ordered the full size one time.
Yeah, I did. And I should have ordered a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
But the half
That's
is
2
only,
days of food.
the half is only $1.
For some of you,
I
for some
know,
of us,
I
that's a
feel like
lunch hour.
There you go.
And I think, well, I'll only eat half of it
We
and take
have
it home, but
Amy
then that never
Barnes is
happened.
here, and then when you get online, you'll see
Yeah.
that
Okay.
Jeff Barnes is
I
with
got
it.
it.
Yeah, that never happened.
This isn't Echo.
No, this
We'll
is
order a full
Barnes.
one.
This
I'll
is
call you.
Barnes
Yeah.
Estate.
There you go.
I go to States when there's only.
Yeah, 2 people go there.
Why is that?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one too. That's, here we go. Are we on the line? No, they're all still, here we go.
Yeah, I'll unmute Jeff.
Here we are. Oh, Jeff Barnes Jeff is on there. I can see him. Do you wish to speak, Jeff?
No, I don't think I need to unless you have questions.
Well, if a question comes up or something, we need to swear you in if you want to be available.
I
So
believe.
should we go
I
ahead and
believe
swear
Amy-
you in?
I believe Amy can do it.
Okay, yay, I like that attitude, okay. Okay, good for you, good answer. Okay. Oh, I don't have my agenda.
Huh?
Can I see your agenda?
Oh,
Sorry.
should be the top of that one, top of the second page.
Okay, good afternoon. It is Thursday, September 10th. All 3 commissioners are here in the commissioners' meeting room. Monica Reeves is doing the deputy clerk duties for us. Tricia Nielsen, who is the director of the DSD department for Canyon County, is here. And we do have one individual in the room that has signed up to speak. And I see we have Dan Lister online and Jeff Barnes also, and that will take care of that. And I've checked with Mr. Barnes. He does not wish to be sworn in at this time. Before we get started, we'll have Monica swear in Amy Barnes. Tricia Nielsen, Dan Lister, Amy Barnes, do you swear or affirm that testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? So help you God?
I do.
Okay. This is a public hearing to request, to consider a request by Jeff and Amy Barnes for a short plot for Barnes Estate subdivision, the case number SD 2020-0012. And Dan Lister, are you taking this one?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you're on.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Good to see you. Dan Lister, Planner 2 for Canyon County Development Services. As stated, this is a request by Jeff and Amy Barnes to subdivide the property in Fernview, the 2.37 acres. It was rezoned back in 2019 to allow for this lot, but to obtain a building permit for it, it does require to go through the platting process. So as you see on the screen, it's a one-lot subdivision. Simple as it gets, I think. It comes off an existing public road, Pitt Lane. It was reviewed by City of Nampa, which they found as long as they had a dedication, 30-foot dedication, they were fine with it. It was reviewed by Nampa Highway District as well, and they felt the access was fine. Irrigation will be provided through Nampa Meridian Irrigation District. They propose to use an existing gravity irrigation line on the property. Drainage will be maintained on site by by landscaping and swales. Water is provided by well, sanitary services by septic system. So very, very simple comments. To go through those real quick. Idaho Transportation Department, no issues or comments. City of Nampa Planning, no issues or comments. It's in line with their future land use plan. City of Nampa Engineering, they allowed for a dedication of right-of-way. That's all they required, and it's shown that on the plat. Public, we received a couple of comments from the public. None of them are in opposition. They were concerned about this creating a higher density residential in the area. As you can see, it's a one-lot subdivision. It's conditioned to only allow this development right here, so it doesn't promote additional divisions within this area. So that takes care of that. The other concern was impact to the private road system that Ms. Cromwell has, her system, which, let me see if I can find it on this. So the public road ends right here.
Did you get my voicemail on that Exhibit 7?
I
don't
not.
have the okay. I don't know if the other two commissioners do, but I have Exhibit 7, but Laura Cromwell is not that exhibit in my book.
Yeah, it's a different exhibit. I'm using an old PowerPoint. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I don't have hers at all. Hers, I don't know if the other commissioners did, but I don't have Laura Cromwell at all.
Yeah, let me see.
So we need to make note that one.
Okay. Yeah,
if regarding this, can we get that so it's on the? Yeah, you can put on the PowerPoint. Perfect.
Okay, let me finish this and I'll throw it up there real quick after.
That works. Thank you.
But basically her exhibit or her request is don't mess with her private road, basically. And so to show you that, her private road starts down here where the public road stops and goes into her property. As you see, this will have access off the public road section. It won't even touch her private road, so it wouldn't impact that. This went before the Planning and Zoning Commission on July 16th, and they did recommend that the Board of County Commissioners approve this short plat. A short plat typically is we look at the preliminary plat and final plat at the same time. Here's the conditions that were agreed upon. All those conditions, except for 2 right now, have been met. They are working with the Highway District now to get their final signatures on the final plat, and also with Southwest District Health. Once those are done, they will be back before you to get that final plat signed, subject to this being approved today. As we go into this, let me pull up that exhibit for you.
I have another question for you too.
Okay.
as you get that pulled up.
Let's see if I can
And
make sure.
It's just a question that came through which is, it's one lot,
Correct.
but it's a subdivision.
Yeah, so we've seen
It's a
these
flat.
before where they've been split off. They were split off, but didn't get split off correctly, and so the only way to fix it is to do a plat. And so we've
Perfect.
seen those like Schleif Fox Estates, things like that, where it was split and sold off, but didn't go through the platting process, so now they have to do it. And it's already split off, so they can't add the other lot that was originally a part of it. And so this is to gain a building permit for this lot. And so it's a one-lot subdivision. Yeah, it's correct.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I just appreciate you very much putting that on the record. That was a question that came up somewhere in preparing for this hearing, so thank you for that.
No problem. Yeah. Right. And let me find. All right. I'm trying to get those light exhibits to you. Let's see where they're at. I am my presentation's complete. If you have any questions while I
Okay.
work on this.
Perfect. Commissioner Van Beek?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Trish, can you address the concern by the Kaisers on the naming of the subdivision and how that comes about?
And Madam Chair, I guess the bill kind of comes from Title 50 of Idaho law of subdivision plats. I guess we would emphasize the word plat. It's just the legal vehicle. Subdivision is just an adjective, I guess. So it does seem like an oxymoron, but it's just a label, just referencing that, it's just comparing it to a record of survey.
And I'm going to say it just a different way, that they've taken the maximum number of administrative splits, so now it's the subdivision time. No?
Madam Chair, Commissioner Van Beek, I think it may have been divided outside the process.
Okay.
That's usually how these come to be. You know, we do try to investigate whether the other property, whether we can put it back together and have them just do an administrative land division. But if the other owner's not willing, then the plat is the only vehicle to establish the entitlement.
Okay.
And have a legal property of record.
So you're trying to remedy something that was done outside of our guidelines?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, any other questions
I
for
don't have any
Dan?
questions.
I have one.
Okay.
So, and I think Dan's looking for it, but it has to do with, potentially they could at some point come back and divide this one more time. It would have to go through another process. But on that comment from Eddie Deal from the Nampa Highway District, his comment is the only issue I see is that access could not be more than a residential driveway. So Trish, I know you work a lot on those details. Tell us what your assessment of that is for future planning.
It's in the development agreement, Commissioner Van Beek.
Yeah, I know the development agreement restricts it, but if they, at some point in time, sold that, so just talk about that whole process, because there was concern for additional.
Could I just jump on to that, the rest of that? That's a good question. Does the development agreement stay with the land or with the individual?
It runs with the land.
It runs with the land.
I can answer those questions if you need any assistance.
Oh, okay.
Jump in,
Yeah.
Dan.
Yeah, the development agreement locks it down to that one division that we're looking at right now. They would have to come back to the rezone process if they want to divide it up further than what is allowed by that zoning. In this case, it would be a development agreement modification or to abandon that development agreement altogether. So it would come back before the board to decide that if that's appropriate or not. So they do have a process before they can redivide that land again.
And I appreciate you putting that on record. And so in the worst case scenario, they would be able to divide one more time. And so that driveway, is that sufficient, Dan? It's just looking at the future so that we don't create problems in that?
Correct. And so again, that access point for their driveway was reviewed by the Highway District and the City of Nampa, and they both found that to be adequate location for a driveway for that type of development as agreed upon in the development agreement.
Thank you, Dan.
Anything else for Dan? Amy? If you would please come up and put your name and address on the record. Yep,
Okay.
you sure can.
My name is Amy Barnes. Address is 605 West Highland Avenue, Nampa, Idaho, 3686.
Okay, tell us what your plans are.
So our plan is just to build our permanent residence on that piece of land. Our friends own the lower section that it's being split off of. And so we've gone through the process, as explained by Dan, to split off the upper 2.39 acres, I think, so that we can build a home. So, and I actually did have one quick question. Can you explain the process that was gone about incorrectly, as far as the split and what's being corrected? I was a little bit confused by that.
Well, I can, and Dan can correct me, this was a property that was, divided off the original, how we define the original parcel in the ordinance of parcel of record as of September 6, 1979.
Right.
It would have been required to go through administrative land division. We have no evidence that the property was created that way, then it's not eligible for a building permit, and I was just looking at original parcel, trying to help somebody that was split 8 times before. And now as owner of one of the 8 parcels, they would have to go through this process. It's the only way to establish that illegal building entitlement.
So is it the 66 South Pit Lane that was split off of the 16 acres?
I'd have to ask Dan. I'm not familiar with the specifics.
Dan, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, you got mute.
Yeah, so this was not the part of the first division. This is the second division off of that property. And when it's in City of Nampa's jurisdiction, we go by the area of impact agreement, which says we follow their subdivision definition of subdivision. So after the first division, any division after that has to go through the platting process. And so after the first division was taken, this is the second division. So it goes through the platting process after that.
Okay.
That answers my question. Thank you.
I think you're okay.
Yeah, okay. I was just making sure, I was like, we did it wrong.
No, you're okay.
Okay. And then, we did have a meeting with the Highway District this morning. Their commissioners, I believe they're called. And they gave us permission. They granted the license agreement, which was his last condition. So the irrigation will remain as is. He said he will pull that together and then they will sign off on the final plan. So highway is good.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, I haven't seen this letter up until now, but, the dump trucks that were for dirt, I know our friends thought they had gone about it the correct way, but I didn't realize there was any damage done to the fence and the road. But I have never personally driven down that road. We don't need it to access our land. And I know Shane and April, the owners of the other portion, don't ever use it to access. I think they were only trying to get that dirt down there, and that was the easiest way. But anyway, I don't know that any of us intend to use that road at any point.
And Madam Chair, Dan, that leaves just Southwest District Health as the outstanding item then with that reference from Barnes.
Correct. And so they're also pretty close to signing the plat as well, to my understanding, by just talking to Amy earlier today. So if this goes through, we'll probably just agendize it when she's ready to bring it before you guys to sign.
Okay. Thanks, Dan.
And as for your testimony, Dan, and your explanation, that at the very end of Laura's thing, it says she wants to know what to do to protect herself from any effort to use our private road. I also wonder if there's anyone protecting. So you said they won't be using her private road.
Correct. And going back to this photo right here, going back to the aerial, let me redraw that. I redrew that wrong. Let's go back this way. It goes right about here, I believe, the private road starts and the public road ends. So at that point, they would be entering private property if they use that. And if they don't have legal access to it, they can't use it. So that's the idea. So this property owner here has adequate access up here to get into their property, and the Barnes has this area right here. Again, talking to Nampa Highway District, they felt that those were adequate distances between driveways, so it matches their requirements, matches City of Nampa's requirements for access, and currently meets ours. So there will be no issue with this development entering the property below where it becomes a private road.
So, Madam Chair, I would say, based on what I hear Amy telling us today and the intent of their usage of this property, there'd be no reason to go down there unless you're going down there to visit that person specifically. Because it's not a through road, it doesn't go anywhere except their house. Right.
At the same time, Madam Chair, if they do go into that property, it becomes a civil matter between that owner and that property owner, and it wouldn't be our issue. It'd be something they would have to take up.
Okay.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
And so I appreciate Commissioner Dale making that clarification because their access is north to south on Fifth Lane. And then where their property terminates, after that south is where the private road starts. So that was the clarification I had to use. So one way in, one way out, basically, unless what's that arm that goes west? That road.
That's a property line.
And then there's another, it looks like a road, and then they're on South Fifth Lane. So that makes sense.
Can I point? I can show you where the roads are. Is that okay? So there's about 50 feet right here for being able to access theirs and ours, and there's a home right there. Their driveway goes right here, and then right about there is where the private road starts. These guys enter from the end of that cul-de-sac right there, and then the home, I'm not even sure what's back there, but they all access that way. So there's about 50 feet right here.
And that will be yours.
No, the 50 feet right here is for Sheena to access.
Okay.
And then ours, I don't know if Highway has told us if we have to put our driveway to the north or south, but our driveway will be on there. They just have their own access that's before the private road starts.
So Amy, if you go north for the three roads, and then you have that arm that goes up, so you're on South Pit Lane, you're traveling north. What's that road that takes right out there by J&S subdivision?
It's not a road there.
Pink line
So
is,
this is all one property.
And what about to the left of that? So, yep, that right there. Is that a road?
Dan might be able to answer that. What's the pink line on the next?
Yeah, let me look that
You
up.
see where
real
I'm
quick.
pointing, Dan?
Nope.
There's a private that
I
goes back.
don't.
There are a couple homes right here.
I can only guess.
Like 3 or 4 right there.
Just a driveway, basically.
Yeah, it's a
Private
probably
lane.
a shared private
It's
lane.
still pretty rural, it sounds like.
Very, very rural back there, yes.
Thank you for the answer.
The nearest cross street is Victory up there.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. And then if I can also address one other thing, in the letter, she talked about multiple holes being dug. I do know Shane and April had dug holes for a pond to see where the water table was at, since they are so far down in the volcanic rock. I'm assuming that's what she's referring to, is the holes they had dug for their pond. But with the septics, ours will be a completely normal septic system. We've talked to Southwest District Health. We don't have lava rock. I know Shane and April are able to find a spot where they can do that as well. So as far as her concerns with our septic systems in her land.
That's all in the jurisdiction of Southwest District Health. They'll make sure that works before they okay it. Right.
Any other questions or
Not for me.
concerns or anything for Amy? Thank you very much. Okay, and that is the only person that I have signed up to speak.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that we close public comment.
Second.
Moved and seconded to close public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Madam Chair, this is really straightforward. It's a real simple thing. You don't get subdivisions much simpler than a one-lot subdivision. Drainage issues have been addressed. We're only waiting for one thing, and that's with Southwest District Health sign off.
The subdivision engineering report?
Subject, okay, that one, yeah. So Trish, my question is, can we go ahead and approve this and just wait for those authorizations, or what do we need to do? Because that's to sign off on the
Yeah.
final plat, right?
Yeah, I think in the past, we've had
Dan?
the board do the findings. Go ahead, Dan.
Through the chair, the preliminary plat can be approved today. They're just subject to those conditions. And so as long as they come back with the final plat showing that they have met all those conditions, then at the agendized item, staff usually provides you the evidence that they have met all those conditions, and
Right.
it's safe to sign the final plat. So it would come back before you at an agendized item. Typically, this is usually done at the same time, so you can sign the final or sign the FCOs for the final plat or preliminary plat, and then sign the final plat. In this case, there's a little hurdle they had to get over with Southwest District Health and Nampa Highway District just to get them to sign. So it didn't happen today, but it probably happened in a week or two.
Okay.
Okay.
Madam Chair, given that, I think it would be appropriate to authorize the board to, and I'll make a motion to sign the findings, fact, conclusions of law and conditions of approval and order, and we'll take care of the plats at another time.
Final plat, yeah.
Final plat, right.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve and sign. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
All right.
that takes care of that. Congratulations
Appreciate it.
and good luck to
One
you.
step closer.
You'll see
Yep.
that in a week, hopefully.
I hope so.
Or whoever's doing it.
Yep, the engineer said it should be done. So hopefully.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.